Are you hiring in California? One wrong move in your background check process could cost you more than just a bad hire. We're talking lawsuits, penalties, and compliance violations that can quickly turn into very expensive problems. And here's the reality. With millions of Californians having some form of criminal record, this isn't a rare situation. It's something you'll face regularly. In 2026, background checks in California aren't just about screening candidates. They're about navigating one of the strictest hiring environments in the country. Hi, if we haven't met, my name is Matt Rodgers, and I'm the founder of iprospectcheck, a background screening company built for employers and job seekers. In this video, I'll break down what a California background check includes, which laws matter in 2026, and how employers can stay compliant without slowing down the hiring process. So what does a California background check actually include? At its core, it's a way to verify that a candidate is who they say that they are and that their background supports the role that you're hiring for. A background check can include identity verification, criminal history, employment verifications, education verifications, professional license verifications, and motor vehicle records for driving positions. And just like in any smart screening program, the right combination of searches depends on the job for which you are hiring. A healthcare employer may need license verification and a deeper review tied to patient safety. A financial institution may focus more on trust, compliance, and credential accuracy. And for any driving role, motor vehicle records become essential. But here's where California stands apart. The rules are much stricter than in most states. Employers must comply with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, but California adds other layers through the laws like the ICRAA, the CCRAA, the Fair Chance Act, and privacy protection requirements under the CCPA and the CPRA. And these laws don't just regulate what shows up on your background checks, they control how and when you're allowed to run one in the first place. Under the ICRAA in particular, your disclosure has to be clear, standalone, and include specific details about the background check and the screening company, something many employers get wrong. And recently, enforcement has gotten tighter. A 2026 court decision confirmed that even a technical violation of the ICRAA, like an issue with your disclosure form, can be enough to trigger a lawsuit, even if the applicant was hired and no actual harm occurred. On top of that, California also limits when and how you can consider criminal history. You generally can't ask about criminal history or run a criminal background check until after a conditional offer of employment has been made. And even then, you won't receive arrest records that did not lead to convictions, sealed or expunged records, or other protected information. And just because you can consider certain information doesn't mean you can use it automatically. Even when a report does reveal a criminal history, California requires an individualized assessment. In other words, you cannot use blanket disqualification policies. You have to look at the nature of the offense, how long ago it happened, and whether it actually relates to the job that you're hiring for. There's also California's 7-year reporting rule, which is a major difference from federal law. In California, older convictions generally cannot be reported, and consumer reporting agencies also can't report non-conviction records at all. This is where employers often make mistakes. They screen too early, they use broad policies that don't match the role, and they fail to document an individualized assessment, or they skip steps in the adverse action process. And in California, those mistakes can become very expensive very quickly. So how do you do this right? You start with a written background check policy tied to job duties. You train your HR team on California specific rules. Make sure your disclosure and authorizations are compliant. Work with good legal counsel and work with a screening partner that understands the state's constantly evolving legal landscape. At iprospectcheck, we help employers navigate California's background check requirements with fast, accurate, and compliant screening solutions. And that's really the bottom line. California may have some of the toughest hiring laws in the country, but with the right process, you can still hire confidently. If you're hiring in California and want a smart, compliant screening program, contact iprospectcheck today for a free consultation. If you want to reduce risk and simplify your background screening process, visit our website to learn more. And if you found this helpful, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights on background checks.